In a world where we often feel under threat and disconnected, we need each other even more. At St. Philip's College, we have a tradition of resilience. No matter what challenge we face, we endure, we learn, we grow together. We all are resilient. We all have stories. Here is one.
My name is Rhone Hinojosa, but everybody calls me Ronnie. I am 48, going on 49 this year. I am from Deep South Texas, going to transition back into the medical field right now as a radiological technologist. I think it amazes me that this year marks 10 years since I received my diagnosis, and it is still just as difficult to process as it was 10 years ago. We'd lost my mother just 5 years prior to breast cancer as well. And I was 38 years old and on the phone with a doctor telling me that I had breast cancer. And because I come from such a large family, the oldest child, I took care of my mother, I took care of my grandparents, I took care of my sisters. I've never allowed myself to be in a headspace where I felt that it was okay to give up. There's always a way out. That's kind of been my mantra. There's always a way out. There's always somebody who is in a worse situation. There is always going to be a way to find that positivity out of something. And at that moment, that was truly where I felt I had lost all hope. I did not think that I would be able to survive it. I really didn't. That was a big one. Honestly, one of the what I found that helped so much, and again, it's the irony of it, because had I not become ill and had to leave from working in a kitchen, which as a female is it's a little rough sometimes. You know, you have to have a very thick skin, and you have to be on top and have no fear. You deal with people a certain way, and so when you have to transition out of a field like that and move into like I did, up into the front, dealing with people constantly, it's a very, very different view. And so it has allowed me to see the difference that you can make on another human. One of the reasons I enjoyed cooking so much was because of that difference. You could touch someone, you could invoke a memory, you could have thoughts of love and sincerity with a dish. And so to see that I could affect someone that way, just dealing with them face to face and speaking with them, that made the biggest difference in the world to me. I think that is what has made such an impact on me, is being able to treat people with respect. I am absolutely stubborn. Again, oldest caregiver. And so it was very difficult. I tried to carry all of it. I didn't let people in. I was horrible. I was horrible about that. I know that I was. Now I know that. My son, I had him go and live with my sister, with one of my sisters. I didn't let my sisters come. It was one of those things I don't recommend for anybody. You have to humble yourself and realize that every human being has limitations, and no matter how hard it is to think that you're indestructible. If I could go back and do it again, I absolutely would have let everyone in. I would have. I think it would have made a very big difference. Definitely. With age comes wisdom. I have learned that I don't have to rely on just myself. My boyfriend will tell you that in these last 10 years, I am an absolutely different human than I was 10 years ago. Absolutely different. There was always a wall that was built up because I put it there. When you have to take control of every situation in your life, you you do things so that you don't get hurt and so that you can survive and move on a daily basis. And these last 10 years have taught me that I don't have to do that. As a human, it's not the way to go. You can't function that way for your entire life. You have to let people in. You have to allow people to touch your life and to be able to touch other people's lives. It's the only way to exist. I wish I could go back to my younger self and be like, come on, girl. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being human. There's nothing wrong with letting people know that you hurt or asking for help. I think that's the big one for me, is allowing people to help me. It's what's been probably the best part of this experience, allowing myself not to be alone. So I tell everyone, every person, you have a mother, you have a sister, you have cousins, you have aunts, you have uncles, you have brothers. No one is immune to this. Go and get those mammograms. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you've never had it, if you've never seen it, if it's never been in your family. Please go get your mammograms done. Go get your mammograms done. As soon as your insurance will allow you at 40, then do it. If you have had that happen in your family, male or female, you have to go and get checked, because it can make literally the difference between life and death. Literally. And you are absolutely worth it. Everyone needs to know that. Resilience is absolutely something that is ingrained in me. And what I've learned is that being resilient doesn't mean that you have to do it by yourself. You need to learn how to lean on other people to help you so that you can be resilient. I am resilient because I was raised by a very large group of strong-willed women who let me know that I was just as good and could accomplish just as much as anyone else could.